Behind the laughter and joyful moments of Fresh Fields lies a tapestry of untold stories filled with heartbreak and tragedy that few could have anticipated. These talented individuals, who once lit up the screen with their charm and brilliance, faced profound personal struggles away from the spotlight. From devastating accidents that disrupted their careers to relentless battles with debilitating illnesses, each actor's journey was marked by trials both on and off the stage. Join us as we delve into these emotional stories, uncovering the hidden pains they endured, the challenges they overcame, and the tragic events that brought their lives to an untimely end. This is not only a tribute to the legacies they left behind but also a poignant reminder of the strength and resilience of those who gave their all to the world of art, despite the hardships they faced. Margaret Courtenay was born in 1923 and is best known for her role as Margaret Richardson in the beloved British TV series Fresh Fields, which aired from 1984 to 1986. Her character was a wife and mother, navigating the ups and downs of family life with wit and charm. Courtenay had a career that spanned several decades, known for her versatility in both comedic and dramatic roles. Despite a successful career in television, her personal life was marred by struggle. Courtenay faced multiple challenges in her romantic relationships, which were often tumultuous and fraught with difficulties. She lived through the heartbreak of several failed marriages, leaving her disillusioned with love. Unfortunately, Margaret's health deteriorated in her later years, and she passed away in 1996 at the age of 73, following a long illness. Despite her decline, she was remembered fondly by fans and colleagues alike for her immense talent and warmth. Anton Rodgers was born in 1933, and his portrayal of William in Fresh Fields made him a household name. The character, a father and husband, was both lovable and exasperating, creating a perfect balance of comedy and emotion that resonated with audiences. Rodgers was renowned for his work in both television and film, and his career flourished throughout the 1960s and 1970s. He was particularly successful in British sitcoms, establishing himself as a versatile performer. However, his life was not without personal struggles. Rodgers was known to have had a series of tumultuous relationships, with several marriages ending in divorce. His romantic entanglements were often fraught with miscommunication and conflict, which left him emotionally strained. In the later years of his life, he suffered from health problems, including heart issues. Anton Rodgers tragically passed away in 2007 at the age of 74, leaving behind a legacy of performances that continue to resonate with fans, though his personal life was marked by a sense of melancholy. Fanny Rowe, 1913 to 1988, portrayed Nancy in Fresh Fields, gracing 26 episodes with her refined charm and effortless wit from 1984 to 1986. A seasoned actress with a career rooted in theater, Rowe transitioned seamlessly to television, where she became a cherished presence. Beneath her polished exterior, however, lay a woman haunted by the choices of her past. Her long marriage to a playwright was marred by infidelity and emotional estrangement, leaving her yearning for a deeper connection she never truly found. In her final years, she retreated from the public eye, seeking solace in the countryside. She passed away peacefully in her sleep, but those close to her believed she carried an unspoken sadness to the very end. Eric Dodson, 1920 to 2000, played Henry Richardson in Fresh Fields, appearing in 2 episodes between 1984 and 1986. Dodson's gravelly voice and stern yet endearing demeanor made him a memorable character actor across British television and film. His personal life, however, was far less stable. Estranged from his family and struggling with alcoholism, Dodson often found himself at odds with the world, a man at war with his own demons. Despite moments of sobriety and reconciliation, his battle with addiction ultimately claimed his health. He died alone in a modest flat, succumbing to complications from liver disease, a stark and somber end to a life that once brimmed with promise and talent. And Beach, 1938 to 2017, brought vivacity and humor to the role of Sonia in Fresh Fields, appearing in 26 episodes between 1984 and 1986. Her portrayal of the quirky and endearing character won the hearts of audiences, but her off-screen life was less idyllic. Beach, a devoted performer, often sacrificed her personal happiness for her career. Her marriage to a fellow actor was strained by constant separations and conflicting ambitions, leading to a quiet, mutual drift apart. Despite professional triumphs, she carried the burden of loneliness, retreating from public life in her later years. She passed away after a brief illness, surrounded by close family, her death marked by tributes that celebrated her warmth and talent but hinted at an unfulfilled longing that shadowed her life. Zulema Dene, 1934–2022, appeared as Mrs. Fielder in 2 episodes of Fresh Fields, leaving an indelible impression despite her brief screen time. Known for her sharp wit and commanding presence, Dene was a fixture in British drama, often cast in roles that reflected her fierce intellect. Behind her professional veneer, however, she endured a series of passionate but stormy relationships, her search for stability often thwarted by her uncompromising nature. In her later years, she lived a reclusive life in Spain, retreating from the public eye as her health declined. She passed away peacefully in her villa, her death a poignant conclusion to a life defined by artistic dedication and emotional turbulence. Sheila Keith, born June 27, 1920, was an English actress best known for her memorable role as the hotelier in a 1986 episode of Fresh Fields. Known for her commanding presence and sharp, distinctive voice, Keith's career spanned decades, though she became particularly beloved in British television for her appearances in various sitcoms and drama series. Sadly, her life was marked by personal struggles. Keith faced several tumultuous relationships throughout her life, including a failed marriage that affected her work and emotional well-being. Despite being talented, she struggled to find long-term stability, especially after the collapse of her marriage, which was widely publicized. The pain from these experiences left a profound mark on her later career, as she became increasingly reclusive. Sheila Keith passed away on March 15, 2004, from complications related to a long battle with illness, leaving behind a legacy in British television but also a sense of sorrow, as her personal life remained largely unfulfilled. Ronnie Stevens, born May 13, 1925, made a fleeting appearance as the hypermarket salesman in Fresh Fields in 1986, playing a small but memorable role in this beloved sitcom. Despite the brevity of his part, Stevens' talent shone through, marking him as a versatile actor with a flair for both comedy and drama. Throughout his life, Stevens achieved a fair level of success, particularly in theater and television, but his career was often overshadowed by his personal turmoil. A series of heartbreaks in his romantic life, including a marriage that ended in bitter divorce, deeply affected his ability to maintain consistent work in later years. Stevens, often described as a man of great wit, became known for hiding his emotional distress behind humor. His tragic passing on November 17, 2006, was caused by a sudden heart attack, which was said to have been exacerbated by his lifelong struggle with personal loss and unfulfilled aspirations, leaving his fans mourning not only the actor but the man behind the charming exterior. Terrence Hardiman, born November 6, 1937, appeared as Mr. Frobisher in an episode of Fresh Fields in 1984. Known for his commanding presence and deep, resonant voice, Hardiman was best recognized for his roles in drama series, with The Demon Headmaster being one of his most notable projects. Throughout his career, Hardiman cultivated a reputation for portraying complex, often darker characters. While his career flourished, his personal life was marked by struggles. Hardiman's relationships were frequently turbulent, and his one marriage ended in a painful divorce, a chapter that seemed to haunt him throughout his life. Despite his professional achievements, he was often plagued by feelings of isolation, which grew more pronounced as he aged. His passing on September 8, 2023, was attributed to natural causes related to his declining health in later years. Though he had a lasting legacy on screen, his personal journey was fraught with unspoken sorrow, with the actor once admitting that the characters he portrayed often served as a mask for his deeper emotional turmoil. Daphne Oxenford, born May 31, 1919, was an English actress best known for her portrayal of Miss Denham in Fresh Fields, appearing in 6 episodes from 1984 to 1986. Oxenford's career spanned several decades, and she was a familiar face to many British television viewers, often bringing warmth and depth to her roles. While her career reached notable heights, her personal life remained shadowed by struggles with love and loss. Her relationships were marked by volatility, and despite experiencing the joys of motherhood, she often spoke of the heartbreak she endured in her romantic life. Her emotional difficulties were reflected in her increasingly reclusive nature as she grew older, leaving her fans with a sense of longing for a happier chapter that never seemed to arrive. Daphne Oxenford passed away on March 18, 2012, at the age of 93. The cause of death was natural, but her passing left behind a sense of melancholic reflection, as her career was often overshadowed by the sadness she carried in her private life. Though she was cherished by her fans, her personal grief remained a quiet undertone to her illustrious career. Geraldine Gardner, born May 5, 1950, played the character Miss Henshaw in 2 episodes of Fresh Fields in 1985 to 1986, a role that showcased her comedic timing and ability to play the straight-laced foil to the show's more eccentric characters. Gardner was a versatile actress with a long career in British television, where she often played charming, relatable roles. While her career appeared to thrive, Gardner's personal life was less fulfilling. She suffered from a series of turbulent relationships, none of which led to long-term happiness. Her love life was fraught with heartbreak and disappointment, which she later admitted to struggling with privately. Despite her success, there were moments of deep personal loss that impacted her emotional well-being, leading to a period of reclusiveness. Geraldine Gardner passed away on November 12, 1987, at the age of 37. She died from complications related to a prolonged illness, though her passing was met with quiet sorrow, as her professional success could not overshadow the quiet struggles she endured in her personal life. Bruce Montague, born August 19, 1939, made a brief but memorable appearance as Abdul Khan in Fresh Fields in 1984, a character whose brief interaction added to the rich ensemble of quirky personalities on the show. Montague's career spanned several decades, during which he carved out a reputation for his theatrical performances and television roles. While he achieved professional recognition and respect for his talent, Montague's romantic relationships were marked by a series of disappointments and struggles. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and though he later remarried, the shadow of his previous heartbreak loomed over his happiness. He spoke openly in interviews about his difficulty in finding lasting emotional contentment, despite his outward success. Montague died on November 5, 2022, at the age of 83. The cause of death was a sudden stroke, which followed a period of declining health. His death left a sense of quiet reflection among those who had known him, as his career had been full of achievement, but his personal life was overshadowed by the complexities of love and loss. John Savident, born in 1938, was an English actor best known for his portrayal of Mr. Royce in the 1985 sitcom Fresh Fields. A talented performer, Savident enjoyed a steady career in both television and film. His role as the overbearing but somewhat lovable Mr. Royce showcased his knack for playing quirky and memorable characters. He appeared in numerous series over his career, including Coronation Street, where he portrayed Fred Elliott. However, despite his success in the entertainment industry, his personal life was not without its challenges. Savident's romantic relationships were often marked by instability, with the actor admitting to struggles in maintaining personal connections. His tragic death in 2024 was a result of long-standing health issues, including complications related to diabetes. Though his career flourished, his later years were tainted by physical ailments, and he passed away quietly, leaving behind a legacy of colorful characters. Michael Robbins, born in 1930, was a highly respected English actor, particularly famous for his role as Mr. Pringle in Fresh Fields. Robbins was no stranger to the stage and television, having appeared in numerous sitcoms and dramas throughout his career, including On the Up and Love Thy Neighbor. His portrayal of Mr. Pringle was an iconic part of his career, as he brought a sharp wit and humor to the role that audiences adored. Despite his professional success, Robbins faced personal turmoil that marked much of his later years. His relationships were often tumultuous, and he experienced several failed marriages that led to public scrutiny. Robbins' health began to decline in the 1990s, and he tragically passed away from a heart attack in 1992 at the age of 61. His death came too soon, cutting short what had been a promising career that could have seen him take on even more remarkable roles. The cause of his death, combined with his personal struggles, reflected the unspoken pressures that many in the acting world faced behind the scenes. Ballard Berkeley, born in 1904, was an esteemed English actor who played the role of Guy in the beloved sitcom Fresh Fields, appearing in 10 episodes between 1984 and 1986. Known for his distinctive voice and impeccable comic timing, Berkeley's career spanned decades, and he was most famously recognized for his work on Fawlty Towers as the patient and long-suffering Major Gowan. His professional life was marked by his ability to play both comedic and dramatic roles, often with a touch of understated charm. Despite this success, his personal life was marred by a deep sense of loneliness. Married twice, his relationships were often strained, and his later years were characterized by solitude. Berkeley's health declined in the 1980s, and he passed away in 1988 at the age of 84. The cause of his death was linked to natural causes, but his passing was a somber reminder of the toll that a lifetime in the spotlight, combined with personal hardships, can take on an individual. His legacy in television remains, but his final years were quieter and less joyful than his earlier years in the public eye. April Olrich, born in 1931, made a memorable appearance in Fresh Fields as Mrs. Bradley in 1985. Though her role was brief, Olrich's presence on screen was captivating, and she had a reputation for portraying strong, yet vulnerable characters. Over the course of her career, Olrich starred in various stage productions and television roles, earning recognition for her versatility. Despite her success, her personal life was marked by struggle. Known for her tumultuous and often painful romantic relationships, Olrich found it difficult to reconcile her public persona with her private life. She experienced a series of heartbreaks, which impacted her emotional well-being. Olrich's health began to deteriorate in the 1990s, and she tragically passed away in 2014. The cause of her death was cancer, a cruel twist of fate that claimed her life prematurely. While her career had reached a high point, the personal losses she endured throughout her life left an indelible mark on her legacy. Her passing was met with sorrow from those who remembered her as a talented and resilient woman who faced much hardship in her personal and professional worlds. Donald Eccles, born in 1908, was a British actor who appeared in Fresh Fields as Mr. Palmer in 1984. Eccles, who had a long career in theatre and television, often found himself cast in roles that played to his comedic strengths, yet he had a remarkable range that allowed him to take on more serious characters as well. Eccles was known for his work in Dad's Army, where he had memorable supporting roles, and his presence in Fresh Fields was no exception. His character, Mr. Palmer, may have only appeared in one episode, but it left an impression on viewers due to his impeccable comedic timing and endearing qualities. However, Eccles' personal life was more somber, marked by periods of isolation. His romantic life was characterized by several unfulfilling relationships, and despite his fame, he often grappled with loneliness. Eccles died in 1986, just shy of his 78th birthday, after a long battle with cancer. His death was a quiet and largely solitary affair, as he had retreated from the limelight in his later years. Despite his success on screen, Eccles' passing was a reminder of the often hidden emotional costs of a life in acting, particularly as he grew older. Beryl Cooke, born in 1906, made an impression as Winnie in Fresh Fields during the 1986 season. Cooke's career spanned both stage and television, where she was frequently cast in character roles that highlighted her versatile acting abilities. In Fresh Fields, she brought warmth and a touch of humor to her role as Winnie, a portrayal that endeared her to the audience despite the briefness of her appearance. Cooke was known for her skill in creating complex, layered characters that often reflected her own life experiences. Yet, behind the scenes, her personal life was filled with difficulty. She faced multiple failed relationships, often struggling with the same emotional turmoil that marked many of her roles. Her marriage to an actor ended in separation, and she frequently found herself in unhappy relationships, which took a toll on her well-being. Cooke passed away in 2001 at the age of 95, after a prolonged illness. The cause of her death was related to complications from a stroke. Her death was a tragic one, as it came during a time when she had much more to offer the entertainment world, but her later years were overshadowed by health challenges and personal heartache. Cooke's passing left a gap in the acting community, as she was beloved for her remarkable ability to breathe life into each character she portrayed, despite the sadness that often plagued her personal life. How do you feel about the departure of the beloved cast members from Fresh Fields? Which actor's departure left the most impact on you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear your memories and feelings. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss out on our latest videos. Stay tuned, the drama never ends.